What's the latest on the Los Angeles wildfires and what caused them? Wildfires are ripping across parts of Los Angeles, leading to at least 10 deaths, burning down hundreds of buildings, and prompting evacuation orders for tens of thousands across the county. Despite the efforts of thousands of firefighters, the biggest blazes remain mostly uncontained. Weather conditions and the underlying impact of climate change are expected to continue fanning the flames for days to come, and there is intense scrutiny of officials' preparedness for the disaster. Authorities say they expect the death toll will increase. What's the latest? In Los Angeles County, some 153,000 people are under evacuation orders as of Friday. Many of them fled their homes with just the belongings they could carry. Another 166,000 residents are under evacuation warning, meaning they may need to leave their homes soon. More than 1,000 buildings have been razed by the fires, which are the most destructive in the history of LA. A further 600,000 are also at risk. Insured losses are expected to be above $8 BPN because of the high value of the properties damaged. The substantial insurance policies purchased in the past because of the high value of the properties damaged. A man was arrested on Thursday afternoon after residents suspected that he was attempting to start a new fire, but police said he was charged with a probation violation, but that there was not enough probable cause to charge him with arson, and an investigation continues. The causes of the original fires are not yet known. National Guard troops have been deployed in some parts of the city to prevent looting in evacuated areas, with more set to be deployed, and there have been 20 arrests, according to police. Vice President-elect Bill Clinton accepts the gold medal from the military after losing the first honorarium in 2000. Celebrities who have lost their homes include Mel Gibson, Leighton Meester, and Adam Brody, who attended the Golden Globes just days ago, actor James Woods, and Paris Hilton. Where are the fires? There are at least 5 fires raging in the wider area, according to California fire officials. Palisades, the first fire to erupt on Tuesday and the biggest in the region, which could become the most destructive fire in state history. It has scorched a sizable part of land covering more than 200,000 acres, including the upmarket Pacific Palisades neighborhood. It was 8% contained as of Friday morning. Eaton. It has struck the northern part of Los Angeles, blazing through cities such as Altadena. It's the second biggest fire in the area, burning nearly 1,400 acres. It is 3% contained. End quote. First located just north of San Fernando, it began burning on Tuesday night and has grown to 771 acres and is 70% contained. Lydia. It broke out on Wednesday afternoon in the mountainous Acton area north of Los Angeles and grew to cover almost 350 acres. Authorities say it has been 75% contained. Kenneth, this new fire broke out on Thursday on the border of Los Angeles and Ventura counties. It so far covers nearly 1,000 acres. Authorities said its progress has been stopped and it has been 35% contained, with no structures damaged or destroyed. In the earliest Sunset, Woodley, and Olivas fires have been contained. Was LA prepared for the fires? A political row about the city's preparedness has erupted after reports that some firefighters' hoses ran dry, provoking criticism from U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, fact-checking criticism of California Democrats over fires. In Pasadena, around 11 miles, 18 km north, U.S., downtown LA, Fire Chief Chad Augustin said the area experienced a short period of time where pressure was low on a small amount of hydrants. All issues had been resolved, he said. He attributed the issue to multiple fire engines drawing water at the same time, as well as a loss of power lowering pressure. Hydrants also ran out of water for a time in the more elevated parts of Pacific Palisades. California Governor Gavin Newsom said Friday he was ordering an independent investigation into the loss of water pressure and the closure of a reservoir in Pacific Palisades, which was shut for maintenance before the fires began. Mayor Karen Bass returned to the city from a previously arranged trip to Ghana to find it on fire. She has faced intense questions about the region's preparedness, her leadership in this crisis, and the water issues. Before the fires broke out, LA's fire chief warned in a memo that budget cuts were hampering the department's ability to respond to emergencies. As the wildfires spread in Bel Air, the department basically transformed itself for future emergencies. Dismay over the fire threat was worsened by an alert that was mistakenly sent to every mobile phone in Los Angeles on Thursday, residents say, prompting anger from some. About 10 million people live in the county. A second emergency alert warning residents to prepare to evacuate was mistakenly sent out to residents in the early hours of Friday. During a news conference Friday morning, city authorities said they were investigating why the mass alert was sent out and urged people not to disable the alert function on their phones, which they said was vital to provide up-to-the-minute emergency information. Its description. What caused the fires? A combination of an exceptionally dry period. Downtown Los Angeles has only received 0.16 inches, 0.4 cm, of rain since October, and powerful offshore gusts known as the Santa Ana winds have created ripe conditions for wildfires. Santa Ana winds flow east to west through Southern California's mountains, according to the National Weather Service. The winds can also be responsible for the scale of destruction that follows. Blowing across the deserts further inland, they create conditions where humidity drops, which dries out vegetation. If a fire does start, the winds can fan smoldering embers into an inferno in minutes. Speeds of 60 to 8.9, 5, 1, 3, 0 km/h are common, but gusts of up to 100 km/h can occur. End of footnote. Although the strongest wind gusts have passed through the region, forecasters have warned another traditional Santa Ana wind event will move in on Thursday night local time, according to CBS News. Investigations into what initially sparked the fires are continuing. LA District Attorney Nathan Hochman said that the focus of law enforcement is currently on saving lives and homes and assisting firefighters, but that eventually they would turn towards investigating the causes of the fires. If it is determined that there is a man-made and intentional setting of any of the fires involved in this situation, the people who committed this arson will be arrested, they will be prosecuted, and they will be punished to the full extent of the law, he said. Hochman also warned people against looting and flying drones. One struck a firefighting plane, which was damaged but able to land without any injuries, and warned of scams targeting fire victims. Authorities said a curfew in the evacuation zones will be in place from 18 local time to 6 Saturday. Arson is not the only cause of deadly wildfires. Power lines and other utility equipment have sparked some of the most destructive blazes in California's history. In 2018, the so-called Camp Fire destroyed the town of Paradise and killed 85 people, many of whom died in their cars trying to flee. There is a glimmer of hope for firefighters, as the fire weather outlook for Southern California has been downgraded from extremely critical to critical. But BBC weather forecaster Sarah Keith Lucas says there is no rain forecast in the area for at least the next week, so conditions remain ripe for fire. Although winds were expected to ease slightly later Friday into Saturday, forecasters warned that they would pick up again on Sunday into Monday. What role has climate change played? Although strong winds and lack of rain are driving the blazes, experts say climate change is altering the background conditions and increasing the likelihood of such fires. Much of the western United States, including California, experienced a decades-long drought that ended just 2 years ago, making the region vulnerable. To date, it has been the longest drought in the Redwaters. Whiplash swings between dry and wet periods in recent years created a massive amount of tinder dry vegetation that was ready to burn. U.S. government research is unequivocal in linking climate change to larger and more severe wildfires in the western U.S. Climate change, including increased heat, extended drought, and a thirsty atmosphere, has been a key driver in increasing the risk and extent of wildfires in the western United States, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says. Fire season in Southern California is generally thought to stretch from May to October, but Gov. Newsom has pointed out earlier that blazes had become a perennial issue. "There's no fire season," he said. "It's fire year."